for the benefit of those online, we are delayed a few minutes while we're waiting for our fourth member to arrive. Thank you. Mr. Lee, are you the Zoom user?
Yes, go ahead and get started. I'll be there.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Mr. Chair, if I may. Mr. Young, can we get started with the preliminaries without the fourth member being present?
The fourth member is present on Zoom, correct?
Yes.
Then yes, you may begin. He just cannot vote until he is either present or on camera.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Young.
All right. This evening is our monthly meeting of the Board of Adjustment. We are committed to a transparent process and encouragement of public comment during our meetings. We will be accepting testimony from all parties. If you wish to testify on any particular petition before us this evening using the Zoom platform, please use the raise hand feature. You can raise your hand at any time and we will recognize you at the appropriate time for the presentation of evidence for each case. If in person, please hand either the staff your speaker's card. Planner Robin Keefe will be moderating the hybrid meeting and will be asked to provide names of those individuals that wish to speak. I would like to call the meeting of the City of Wildwood's Board of Adjustment to order. The board members present today are Mr. Lee, who is virtual for the moment, David Bertolino, alternate member, Anthony Reiner, alternate member, and myself, Kevin Lux, acting chair for this evening's meeting. The Department of Planning staff present is Director Joe Vunich, Director of Planning, and Robin Keefe, planner. City Attorney John Young is attending on Zoom, and court reporter Becca Tuggle is also present. First, I offer into record the affidavit of publication pertaining to today's meeting on September 18th, 2025, and take official notice of the zoning ordinance of the City of Wildwood, including Chapter 400, Article 2, authorizing and establishing the Board of Adjustment's powers and duties. So I will next explain the hearing procedure. Please be aware the information I'm about to describe is also provided on the Board of Adjustment public hearing procedure handout, which is available online prior to and up to tonight's meeting. This hearing is informal in nature. However, the meeting's proceedings will be recorded by the court reporter for future transcription if needed. The petitions are called in order listed on the agenda. As the petition is called, I will ask a Department of Planning staff member to read each request into the record. Thereafter, the Department of Planning will have opening remarks and a brief slide presentation. Then the petitioner or his or her representative will be asked to state their name and address, be sworn in by the court reporter, make a brief presentation to the board explaining the nature of the variance, and present such evidence and witness testimony that may evidence the practical difficulties or unnecessary hardship warranting the variance. The board will only consider the unique character of the property to determine whether they warrant the granting of a variance. The petitioner's presentation will be limited to 15 minutes total, inclusive of any questions posed by the board, unless such time is extended by the chair. Board members may ask questions to clarify the facts of the petitioner's presentation. When the board is satisfied with the material presented by the petitioner, the chair will then ask if there's anyone present or online who would like to speak in favor or opposition of the requested variance. Each speaker will be asked to provide his or name and or address, be sworn in, and then provide their evidence and oral testimony. Witness testimony shall be limited to 5 minutes, inclusive of any questions posed by the board, unless such time is also extended by the chair. Procedurally, the petitioner may request a continuance at any time during the hearing prior to a call for the vote in order to bring in additional evidence or testimony. The board may also continue the proceedings. After the submission of testimony and evidence from all interested parties, the board will ask that a staff person provide the Department of Planning's report on the matter if requested by any member of the board, the petitioner, or any individual that is participating in person or online. Once all witnesses have been heard, the chair will call for a motion to grant or deny with or without conditions, and the board will then vote. At that time, the presentation of evidence relating to a petition is concluded and no further evidence will be permitted. The board may make a decision today. 4 members of the board must vote in favor of the variance for it to be approved. Given that there are only 4 members on the board tonight, it must be unanimous. If a variance is approved, the petitioner has 6 months to obtain the necessary permits or establish the use, or it will expire. If the board's decision is unfavorable, The petitioner has the right to appeal to the St. Louis County Circuit Court. This appeal must be done within 30 days of the decision. So all that being said, Ms. Keefe, if there are any questions at this time?
This time, if any attendees online have any questions, please use the raise hand feature. Mr. Chair, I
Okay, well, I note the arrival of Mr. Lee in person, so we can go ahead with the evidentiary part of the hearing, and hearing no questions, we will go ahead and move forward. So if you would please read the first request into the record, which would be followed by a brief slide presentation if desired by the board members.
Mr. Chair, the first item on tonight's agenda is BA 19-25, Helen Krupp, 2281 Centier Drive, Wildwood, Missouri, 63038, care of Don Amos Jones in Home Improvements, 5305 Fifth Street, number 2, Cottleville, Missouri, 63304. Request an exception to the minimum yard requirements general for the purpose of replacing and expanding the existing deck upon the property being located at 2281 Centier Drive, located number 23V 410331, Lafayette Trails, Lot 25, which would thereby authorize a rear yard setback distance of 12 feet in lieu of 30 feet that is now required by the city of Wildwood. This request is contrary to the requirements of Chapter 415.150 R2, 15,000 square foot resident district regulations of the City of Wildwood zoning ordinance and St. Louis County Planned Environment Unit, PEU, ordinance number 16633, approved in 1993. This particular property is located in Ward 1. And before Ms. Keefe begins her presentation, the department would like to enter into the record the following items. Chapter 400, Article 2 of the City of Wildwood Municipal Code, the Board of Adjustment. Chapter 415 of the same City of Wildwood Municipal Code, the zoning ordinance. The file that has been developed and maintained by the Department of Planning regarding this particular request, and all contents contained therein, including the department's report with recommendation. And then finally, any testimony or other items offered as part of tonight's hearing. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Ms. Keefe, if you'd like to move forward with any initial comments pertaining to the petition.
Mr. Chair, I have no initial comments. I'm ready to go straight into the presentation.
All right.
Mr. Chair, members of the board, our first case this evening involves a subject site that is a 1/4 acre lot located within the Lafayette Trails subdivision. And if you aren't familiar with Lafayette Trails, that is located in the northwest corner of the intersection of State Routes 100 and 109, just to the north of the Windsor Crest subdivision. The immediate surrounding land use involves clustered residential dwellings on smaller lots with surrounding public spaces and common ground. And to the immediate west of this subdivision is the city's community park, which is public land and 63 acres in size. The subject residence is located on a corner lot to the northwest corner of Lafayette Trails Drive and Centier Drive. Both of these roads are publicly maintained and 50 feet wide. The lot in question is zoned R2 Residence District and has a planned environment unit associated with it. This PEU was approved by St. Louis County in 1993 before the city of Wildwood was incorporated. The PEU has established setback distances that are actually based on the R4 7,500 square foot residence district. At the time, the PEU established these setback distances based on St. Louis County's R4 residence district, which had a rear yard setback of 15 feet. However, since the city was incorporated, we cannot enforce St. Louis County's zoning designation. And so we must go by the city of Wildwood's R4 setback distances. And in this case, that rear yard setback distance, which is relevant in this case, is 30 feet. The house on the lot, because it was built with the approved St. Louis County setback distances, is legally non-conforming. So any additions to the home must now follow the city's regulations. There is a one-story home that was built in 1996 upon the lot. It has 2,175 square feet of total living area, and it has some improvements associated with it, including 2 porches, a deck, and an attached garage. The lot does have a limited slope to it. However, the garage of the dwelling is at its highest elevation, and there is 8 feet of total relief. Most of the lot is grassy turf area with some landscaping. However, there are some tall coniferous trees towards the rear of the lot. The reason we are here this evening is the petitioner must replace the deck of the home due to deterioration, and would also like to expand upon this deck at the same time by 4 feet. The resulting structure will be 14 feet by 16 feet, or 224 square feet in area. The applicant does note that this deck is 8 feet off the ground and shielded from the most affected neighbor by those tall coniferous trees. The neighbor's house is at an angle, with the neighbor's garage being closest to the deck project. This is the rear front elevation of the deck as submitted by the petitioner. And these are renderings of it. This is the front of the dwelling looking west. This is Sentier Drive looking south. This is Sentier Drive looking north. And this is looking at the dwelling from the intersection. So we're looking northwest. This is looking at the location of the deck on the side of the home, looking at it from Lafayette Trails Drive. And we're looking north. The rest of these photos are just different perspectives of this same existing deck area. This gives you a sense of the rear yard. And here you can see those tall trees behind the deck. That concludes my presentation at this time. The department did not receive any written comments in support or opposed to this project. However, I do believe I forwarded some information to you. And I believe there has only been one variance in the subdivision that would be relevant that has been approved. Thank you. Director Vunich and I are available to answer your questions at this time.
Any immediate questions from the board? No? Good. Hearing none, we'll go ahead and, thank you, Ms. Keefe. We'll go ahead and call the petitioner forward at this time and ask that they state their name, address, relationship to the property, and then be sworn in by the court reporter.
Good evening. My name is Matthew McCoy. I'm the drafter for Jones Home Improvement. No relation to the homeowner itself. I'm just here in their stead.
Okay, let's go ahead and get you sworn in.
Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear the statements you're about to make will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
All right, thank you, Ms. Tuggle. So if you would please explain the nature of the request and the hardship or practical difficulty necessitating the variance as it relates to the property. We'll go ahead and give you 15 minutes.
Not exactly 100% sure exactly what you're asking. The current deck that they have there is it's a 12 by 14. You can see they have an addition deck scabbed onto the 8-foot section in the pictures that she posted up. The current, literally the distance from the back of the house to the fence, the white fence, is 15 feet. We would extend 2 foot past the current fence, putting us at right around 10 foot and near the other fence compared to what the current deck is. With it being scabbed on there like that, I'm actually shocked that it's still there. The hardship, I mean, the deck's falling down. We're going to replace the poles, the posts going up to the existing roof structure. Shore that up because the posts are starting to kind of sink and the deck's starting to rot. And so we want to pull all that out, put new posts on there. As you can see, we had it stamped from an engineer. Other than that, we're just replacing an existing deck with or replacing a deck with an existing roof. And the only thing that was stopping us was the additional the 2 feet, which she already has. I don't think she was aware that her property line literally, she has 11 feet total usable backyard space from the bay of her house to where the line is on the site chart. So we'd be extending past that. And we tried to explain to her the variance and explain to her, if we just moved it back, we wouldn't have to go through this process. And she was pretty adamant about how she wanted to keep it the size that she wanted and to, have the deck size and the usable space that she envisioned. So I guess here we are, going through the process now today. Other than that, it's a pretty standard deck construction, 2 by 10. Hanger to the home itself, put the ledger locks spaced out accordingly to the space. 16, I think it comes out to 10 inches on center. We're going to do a 22 or 24-inch bell for the roof. Hanger to the post itself for the front beam and inside the 2 side beams coming off the house, and then attach a new 6x6 coming off the bottom beam. But I think it's a BC60 post cap connector onto the beams itself, set on a screw, and run a new beam up to the top, and then attach to the existing 2x12 framing for the roof that's already there, and make sure everything's still square.
All right. Okay. Pretty detailed description there. So you got it. All right. Okay. Any other closing comments on that end, or?
No, it's just a standard deck replacement with an existing roof. It became a little bit more complicated because she's got the existing roof, of course, and then we're extending past that usable space in the backyard for the sideline there for the setback. But other than that, I don't have any questions. We're really the only thing we're here over is just that variance for the 2 extra feet. So I think that's pretty much all I've really got to say as a construction. And I'm sorry.
No, you're good. Thank you very much. So any questions from the board? So, okay, thank you. Ms. Keefe, we'll go ahead and open that up to the speakers in the audience or online. So you have anyone who would like to speak?
Mr. Chair, I did not receive any speaker cards. However, there are some individuals online. If anyone would like to speak at this time to this petition, please use the raise hand. Mr. Chair, I see no raise.
Thank you. Is there anyone that would like to hear an oral presentation of the department's report? Okay, then we'll go ahead and let the department make any final comments.
Mr. Chair, members of the board, the department is supportive of this request. We believe there is a bit of a hardship. It would require a variance anyway, but really we see this as a fairly minor variance if we were looking at what the setbacks were when the house was built. However, with the city's regulations, we're looking at a much larger distance. In this case, the site characteristics really support the project with minimal impact to the surrounding residences and neighborhood. It's pretty shielded from the most affected neighbor. Again, that house is on an angle with the garage being the closest to the deck. those trees really provide a nice shield and buffer. The deck project looks attractive, looks like it matches with the house, and will otherwise be an attractive addition to it. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Keefe. Any final comments from the board? Okay, we'll go ahead and close the proceedings before a vote. So I will ask for a vote with a motion to approve, deny, or approve with conditions.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second it.
Okay, so we have a motion to approve that was seconded. We'll go ahead and do a vote. So Mr. Lee,
Yes.
Mr. Bertolino,
Approve.
Mr. Reiner,
Approve.
and I also approve as well. So congratulations, you are approved. All right, I think that closes us out on the first one. So moving right along, we will ask that the department read into the record the next request, which will then be followed by a brief slide presentation.
Mr. Chair, the second item on tonight's agenda is BA 20-25, Charles and Paula Guido, 16726 Wills Trace, Wildwood, Missouri 63005, care of Daniel Carey, Lakeside Renovation and Design, 139 Chesterfield Industrial Boulevard, Chesterfield, Missouri 63005. Request an exception to the Natural Resource Protection Standards, requirements for the purpose of constructing a new two-car detached garage with living space above it that will total 750 square feet in area, with such being located upon the property at 16726 Wills Trace, locator number 19U 210148, Wills Trace subdivision, Lot 4, which would authorize its construction within the 25-foot foundation setback area from the natural resource protection area of the lot, but not within the 100% protected area itself. This request is contrary to the requirements of Chapter 420.200 Natural Resource Protection Standards and Procedures of the Subdivision and Development Regulations of the City of Wildwood Municipal Code as applied to the property located in the NU Non-Urban Resident District, Chapter 415.090 NU Non-Urban District Regulations, Non-Urban Resident District Regulations of the City of Wildwood Zoning Ordinance, and Plan Residential Development Overlay District Ordinance number 445, which was approved by City Council on August 10th, 1998. This particular property is located in Ward 2. And again, as with the last case, Mr. Chair, before Ms. Keefe begins her presentation, the department would like to enter into the record the following items. Chapter 400, Article 2 of the City of Wildwood Municipal Code, the Board of Adjustment. Chapter 415 of the same City of Wildwood Municipal Code, the Zoning Ordinance. The file that has been developed and maintained by the Department of Planning regarding this particular request, and all contents contained therein, including the department's report with recommendation. And then finally, any testimony or other items that are provided as part of tonight's hearing. Thank you, sir.
Mr. Chair, members of the board, our second case this evening involves a site that is 1 acre and a quarter parcel of ground located in the Wills Trace subdivision, which is in the far northeastern portion of Wildwood near the intersection of Strucker Road and Kears Mill. The subject property is zoned non-urban residence district with a planned residential development overlay district applied to it. This PRD was approved by the Wildwood City Council in 1998, and it establishes where buildings and structures may be placed upon the lot, as well as the disturbance and preservation requirements established by the Natural Resource Protection Standards. Occupying this lot is a 2-story dwelling built in 2005 with 4,838 square feet of total living area. The house includes an attached garage, a wood deck, a porch, a patio, and an in-ground swimming pool, along with its associated concrete decking and fencing. This lot has a varied and steep topography with its highest elevation at its southwestern corner and lowest at its northeastern corner. The overall relief of it is 64 feet. It is heavily wooded except for the area immediately around the dwelling, which is grassy turf. And immediately behind the lot is a large tract of common ground, almost 12 acres in size, that contains a small lake associated with it or retention area. The subject site is governed by the regulations of the natural resource protection standards and subdivision and development regulations as well. These standards implement a final resource protection line and an associated 25-foot foundation setback line from that. In this foundation setback area, no building with a foundation may be placed there. However, in-ground swimming pools or any swimming pool decks, retaining walls, etc., are allowed within that area. The natural resource protection area is intended to protect areas of the site that are most susceptible to erosion. And the city does require that they be included upon a record plat or within the trust indentures before any lot may be sold. The petitioners are requesting to build a 2-car detached garage with living area above it, or a carriage house, 750 square feet in size upon the lot. A portion of this structure would be located within the 25-foot foundation setback area. However, no portion of it would be located within the 100% protected area. The driveway is also to be expanded, but no variance is needed for the driveway. These are elevations of the carriage house as proposed. And this is the floor plan of that same structure as associated with the existing dwelling. So this is the existing dwelling, and then this is the detached garage carriage house. This is the front of the dwelling looking east. And this is the perspective of it from the road. This is looking north on Will's Trace. This is looking south. And this is looking across the street to the west. This is looking southeast, and this is the location of the proposed garage, which would be placed at the very end of this driveway and parking pad area. This is looking east from that area down at the water feature behind the lot. Again, that's common ground. And this is looking east. This is looking north towards the most affected neighbor. That's looking east. It just gives you a closer perspective of behind the lot. This is looking south behind the dwelling, so you can see some of the improvements in that location. And then this is standing on the petitioner's deck looking towards the area of the proposed carriage house. And that's looking north. There have been 7 variances approved in this same subdivision related to the natural resource protection area. The department has received 2 written comments in support of the project. One from the most affected neighbor by the project, and then one from a resident that was located within the notification area. The department has also received a letter in support from the HOA. And that concludes my presentation at this time. If the board members have any questions of the department, Director Bunich and I are available to answer them. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Keefe. All right, we'll go ahead and call the petitioner forward.
Mr. Chair, I'm promoting Mr. Yates as a panelist right now.
All right, we'll go ahead and get you to state your name, address, and relation to the property, and then we will go ahead and get you sworn in by the court reporter.
My name is Chris Yates with Lakeside Renovation Design. I am no relation of the petitioners. I am appointed as their representative.
All right.
Okay. Can you hear me?
There you go.
Okay. Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear the statements you're about to make will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes.
It's not sure if you said anything there, but we can't hear you if you did.
Yes.
I guess that's a yes. Okay. Okay. If you could go ahead and explain the nature of the request and the hardship or practical difficulty necessitating the variance, please.
Thank you to the board for taking time to hear our petition. The nature of the request is for the proposed two-car garage / carriage house. My client has a large family. As far as we were talking about, their needs and everything else. They have a large family and visit frequently. The proposed structure would be used for additional vehicle storage and temporary sleeping quarters for said visitors / family members. The proposed structure is planned to match the existing structure in regards to finishes, materials, and quality. My client and I have read through the determination of issues and findings of facts, and my client has expressed that he is willing to incorporate the Department of Planning's request for landscape plans and any and all other requests set forth by the Department of Planning or the City of Wildwood. We understand it is over the natural resource setback, but staying within the natural resource protection line. As Robin stated earlier, and just to clarify, it does seem that in 2018, there was a variance approved for a similar detached garage structure within the neighborhood. So that's about all we have. Obviously, you guys have seen the proposed drawings and architectural drawings. If you guys have questions, I'm open to hear them.
Thank you, Mr. Yates. Any questions from the board? All right. Hearing none, we'll go ahead and see if there's any comments from the audience or online speakers.
Mr. Chair, again, I have no speakers cards. So if any of our attendees online at this time would like to speak on this matter, please use the raise hand feature. Mr. Chair, I see no raised hands.
Okay, thank you. Then is there anyone who would like to hear an oral presentation of the department's report? All right, then we'll move forward to see if there's any final comments.
All right, Mr. Chair, members of the board, the department does support this request as well. The natural resource protection standards do allow for some flexibility, especially where the net result doesn't decrease the 100% preserved area upon the lot. In this case, Again, just a portion of that structure is located within the foundation setback area, but not in the preserved portion of the lot itself. The location for the structure is logical in that it is at the end of the driveway, recessed back from the home. Additionally, it was noted by the department that the home is fairly centered in its buildable area. So in order for such a structure to be built, there would need to be some flexibility to that. Given that the most affected neighbor is in support of the project and the petitioner is willing to meet the department's recommendation of a landscape plan as a condition of this approval, if this board should grant it, we are in support. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Keefe. Any final comments from anyone on the board? Oh, Mr. Lee.
Yeah, I have a question for staff. The foundation setback is probably a land buildable area line. And I know we're not in the natural resources setback, but we adjust the line on the back of the house to equal the amount that we're going to encroach on the foundation and keep the overall land footprint the same.
Well, certainly that's an option, but Ms. Keefe and I felt that since the area of protection on the lot is unchanged and that the foundation setback area, which is 25 feet in width in this case, does allow for the pool and outbuildings, et cetera. The distinction here is the carriage house, the garage with living quarters, has a foundation, and as interpreted by the code, they need the variance. So in this instance, we didn't talk about any type of alterations, and we feel the landscape plan will basically address any potential impacts, which are minimal.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. Any final questions? Then we will go ahead and close the proceeding and move to a vote. So can I have a motion to approve, deny, or approve with conditions?
I'll move that we approve with the condition that a landscape plan be submitted.
Good. I have a motion. Can I get a second?
Yeah, I'll second that.
Thank you. And we'll go right into a vote. So Mr. Lee,
Yes.
Mr. Bertolino,
Approve.
Mr. Reiner,
Approve.
and I approve as well. So congratulations, variance approved with the noted condition.
Thank you all.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Yates. Appreciate it. All right. And then we have one final matter, I believe, which is going to be read into the record.
Thank you again, Mr. Chair. The final item on tonight's agenda is BA 25-25, Blue Onyx LLC, care of Kylie Brown, 2646 Highway 109, Suite 100B, Wildwood, Missouri, 63040. Requests an exception to the zoning ordinance's minimum requirements general of the R3 10,000 square foot resident district and the design guidelines of the neighborhood edge of the town center regulation plan to accommodate the construction of a new single-family dwelling on the lot that is located at 2601 East Avenue, St. Louis County locator number 24V 511091, Lot 1 of Grover Heights, Lot 7A, lot split plat, which would thereby authorize a front yard setback distance variance of 10 feet from Manchester Road, historic Route 66, in lieu of the 20-foot distance as required by the property zoning designation. This request is contrary to Chapter 415.140 R3 10,000 square foot resident district of the City of Wildwood zoning ordinance and the design guidelines of the neighborhood edge district of the town center regulating plan. This particular property is located in Ward 8. And again, before Ms. Keefe provides the slide presentation, the department would like to enter into the record the following items. Chapter 400, Article 2 of the City of Wildwood Municipal Code, Chapter 415 of the same City of Wildwood Municipal Code, the zoning ordinance, the file that has been developed and maintained by the Department of Planning regarding this particular request, and all contents contained therein, including the department's report with recommendation. And then finally, any testimony or other items offered as part of tonight's hearing. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Ms. Keefe?
Mr. Chair, members of the board, our last case this evening involves one lot out of two existing properties that are located in the historic Grover area and part of a two-lot plat that was approved by the city of Wildwood and recorded in 2024. The lot in question is the one closest to Manchester Road. It is 16,617 square feet in size, with frontage distances of 150 feet on Manchester Road and 100 feet on East Drive. So it is a corner lot. It is located within the city's town center, which allows a range of residential and commercial uses with densities and intensities that are also greater than anywhere else in the city. The property is zoned R3 10,000 square foot residence district and has been since 2021. The property is currently vacant with no structures upon it. There is a temporary parking area, which is gravel from previous construction activity upon the lot. But again, otherwise it is an empty lot. The lot is located within the neighborhood edge district of the town center regulating plan, which adds some guidelines, design guidelines to all properties within the town center. It allows for single-family dwellings on lots as small as 1,600 square feet with build-to lines and front yard setback distances as limited as 10 feet. To 5 feet for side yard areas and 25 feet for rear yard areas. The property in question does have a limited slope to it with 10 feet of overall relief. And again, I've described to you what's upon it. There are some trees and then it is mostly grassy turf. This is the plat of the lots on East Avenue. The current request is to construct a new single-family dwelling of a ranch type upon the lot that I have outlined on the screen before you. It will be approximately 2,700 square feet in size and situated at the 10-foot build-to line, which is depicted in red. However, the required setback currently for the lot is 20 feet, so that's the blue line. The rationale submitted by the petitioner is to meet the build-to line set forth by the city's neighborhood design standards of the town center plan. The site was rezoned without the benefit of the overlay district, which would have allowed for this smaller setback distance or build-to line. This is looking northwest. This is East Avenue. These are the lots in question. This is looking west upon the lots from East Avenue. This is looking south upon East Avenue. This is looking southeast at the neighboring commercial center across the street. This is looking northeast across Manchester Road. This is looking west. Here you can see a portion of the subject lot. This is Manchester Road. This is looking north. And this is looking southeast. This is the subject lot. This is looking west on Manchester Road. And then this is one final view looking east, which gives you a sense of both the commercial area and some of the development across the street. That concludes my presentation this evening. Board members should have received an email from me earlier today with a letter signed by many of the surrounding neighbors to the property. So please, if you haven't had a chance, look in your email for that. They did submit a letter of support for the project. Thank you. At this time, the department is available for questions. Both Director Bunich and I are available. Thank you.
Thank you. Any initial questions?
Yeah, quick, Robin, does this have a driveway cut on Manchester Road as 100 as well as on East Avenue?
I believe it's just from east.
Just east? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll go ahead and call the petitioner forward. All right. Evening. If you could go ahead and state your name and address and relation to the property, and then we will get you sworn in.
Yep, Kylie Brown with Blue Onyx / Capstone Homes. I'm the developer builder. We're just looking for a variance so we could build the 2 homes.
Go ahead and we'll get you sworn in, Ms. Tuggle.
I do.
Okay, so go ahead and if you could explain the nature of the request and the hardship or practical difficulty necessitating the variance.
And we do have one person on the Zoom, and Angela as well, that probably know a little bit better than I am, even though I am the home builder and developer, but they've been working on it quite a bit more. So to be able to fit both homes on there, because it's approximately 0.688 acres, with approximately, I think she said 2,700 square foot homes, but one of them's actually been reduced down to about 2,068. The second home is going to be a little over 2,300, so they're still fairly decent size, but not huge. We need a little bit of a variance coming off of Manchester Road to allow them both to fit and not try to squeeze them in there. So they will coincide with what's currently there. All Whalen's homes, our drawings are pretty much matching what they have, so they should be beautiful homes.
All right, thank you. Any questions from anyone?
Make sure I didn't.
Or any final comments from you guys? Yeah.
Well, because I see the emails between Robin, Melanie, Angela, and Becky. I'm like, wow, I can't keep up with all that.
Yeah, so the, I mean.
We'll go ahead. Yeah, well, come on up and we'll let you get sworn in. So if you could state your name, address, relation to the property, and then we'll swear you in.
Okay, my name's Angela Dillman. I'm with Keller Williams Realty Chesterfield, 16620 Swingley Ridge, Chesterfield 63017, unless you want my home address.
That works.
Okay.
So go ahead, Ms. Tuttle.
Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear the statements you're about to make will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth so help you God?
I do. Okay, great. So the, I guess the challenge here is to meet the town center requirements, which does not allow really for a garage to stick out in front of the house. They really want them flush with a nice porch in the front, just like I think in one of the pictures you have the neighbor to the lot. These houses would look just like that neighbor's with a different color scheme and landscape, of course. So the challenge is trying to fit homes that make that neighborhood feel consistent and have some harmony to it. And the size of those, we're just 10 foot short. So we're gonna put one on each lot, and it just need to get 10 foot closer to Manchester. And so it would have then the setback on the side yards that everyone else has on the whole entire street. So it would not be, and the front yard setback would be the same as the whole entire street. So it would bring a lot of consistency and harmony, and it would look much nicer than the vacant lot that trucks park on all the time and drive the neighbors crazy. So that's why the neighbors are in favor of it. They would like to see it finished and have some harmony with the neighborhood. So.
Thank you. Any questions from anyone?
Okay.
All right. Thank you. All right. We'll go ahead and open it up to anyone in the audience or online.
Mr. Chair, I have no speakers cards at this time. I do have 2 individuals online. If you would like to speak on this matter, please use the raise hand feature. Mr. Chair, I see no raised hands.
Okay, then we'll move forward and ask if anyone would like the opportunity to hear an oral presentation of the department's report. Hearing none, we'll go ahead and go forward with final comments from the department.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair and members of the board, the Department of Planning is supporting this particular request and the variance associated with it. We believe that the town center plan in this case should trump the underlying zoning district designation, which would place the portion of the dwelling further away from Manchester Road rather than closer. And principally, the department is supporting it as well because the predominant pattern that is trying to be mirrored here is on East Avenue, and that is where the petitioner is retaining the 20-foot setback from the edge of pavement, and therefore to accommodate the push and pull, so to speak, variance is being supported. If there are any questions of Ms. Keefe or I, we'd be glad to answer them at this time, and thank you.
Thank you, Director. Any questions? Okay. I think
Thank
we're good to
you.
go. All right, we will go ahead and close the proceeding before a vote, and I will now call for a vote. So can I have a motion to approve, deny, or approve with conditions?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Do I have a second?
I will second that.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second, and we'll go into a vote. So Mr. Lee, how do you vote?
Approve.
Mr. Bertolino?
Approve.
Mr. Rayner?
Approve.
And I approve as well. So congratulations. Approved as written. So
Thank you.
thank you very much. You too. All right, we have one final item on the agenda this evening, which is to approve the minutes of the board from August 14th, 2025 meeting. And can I get a motion to approve those?
I'll make a motion to approve.
And a second, please. Okay, got a second. So then, Mr. Lee, how do you vote?
Approve.
Mr. Bertolino?
Approve.
Mr. Reiner?
Approve.
And I approve as well. So minutes are approved, and I believe that closes us up for the evening.
Yes, sir, it does, but I do have an announcement after we adjourn the meeting.
Okay, well, meeting adjourned. What's the announcement?
If you hadn't noticed when you came to City Hall tonight, there's a bit of a detour on Main Street. Sorry. I think we have something on the
That might
website,
be-
actually.
No.
The detour relates to Celebrate Wildwood. It's our annual celebration and it'll be held on Saturday. Starts with the parade at 10 a.m. and ends at 9:15 with the fireworks. Ms. Keefe and the Historic Preservation Commission has been working very hard on the history tents. There'll be 3 this year. So we hope you can come by and see Ms. Keefe and come by the city tent and say hello. We'll have soft drinks and water and things to give away for you. And hopefully you can fit it into your busy day, but we'd love to see you there. Thank you.
Thanks for the invite. Fingers crossed the rain holds out and we'll go from there. All right. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.